This is going to be... Oh, it's not connecting, is it? Yeah, it should be fine. Right, this video will be on private. There's nobody at the moment, so that's fine. I haven't got the phone trying. I'm just going to run all over the place. I wasn't going to talk to myself tonight. No, talk to you. Just sort of just look over there. Pretty boring. I love its lives where well, it's not mine. It's friend lent it to me, which is very kind. So what's happening at this minute? I am in the need of assessing where I am at this time with myself, with my life, and with my business, as well as with this channel. So to talk about the easy things, the channel first. The channel, what am I doing with this channel? I've recently started a cleaning channel. Just so I could have fun with a channel that is, okay, I'll be honest, popular for certain things which are frivolous, as in they probably do not help anyone to become a better person. So as I've been focusing on my other channel, the cleaning channel, I have not concentrated so much on this channel since I'm not really sure what this channel is for. Originally it was to talk to myself, to understand more who I am, and to work on improving my speech and my self-confidence in front of others. But as this channel became more popular, I became slightly more inhibited and somehow shyer, as in if I record something, my conscious mind tells me that it has to be of a certain value, otherwise I will look like a prat. But to look like a prat is okay, because that's what really having a channel is. It's pointless. It's pointless, yet at the same time, maybe sometimes there are moments which can help other people in the video and the content we post. I did, when I started this channel, strongly tell in my videos that this was not for others, it was for myself, so that it was a selfish channel, and that I didn't want subscribers. But that doesn't seem to have dissuaded others, other humans, to subscribe. I don't entirely know why. Because even though I do have fun on this channel, it's not, I shouldn't say that, but maybe I feel like I'm not really valid, like I haven't got really very much to bring anyone who would be watching this. Yet I love the music, I love the piano, but I don't play it very much. So I don't get better at it because I don't practice. There's a voice and I love the voice. I would like so much to do the voice in front of others. But at the same time, my throat feels so constricted. And I don't feel I can sing very well. And when I sing, I feel it starting to scratch. there's a sort of anxiety that comes with the voice which I need to work on and I'm aware of. Yet the voice is my dream, but is it a dream that is an egotistical dream? Is it a dream that's a fallacy, something I should not do because am I looking for the wrong thing through it? Or am I looking, and I know as I say that it's not the case. As I wanted to bring something to this universe that I am conscious in and you are conscious in. And I wanted to offer others who would listen to tell me and come up with something that they have, and I would sing and do turns for them for a period of time, like 15 minutes. And I would also do what I do with the healing, which is signs, which often does bring, has brought changes in persons I have done it with in the past and recently. But at the same time, I know my ego is looking for celebrity, and I hate it. I hate it because it's so fucking shit. It's shit because it's poorish. It just rots people to the core. Fame does rot people. I know it does. Not because of my own experience, but I know because if I could go that way, I know, or if I had gone that way when I was young, I know I would have become arrogant. I would have become a shit person, and I don't want to become that. And I've seen, you just need to watch celebrities without needing to judge them. There's like, what is there? Is it just skin deep? It's all about appearance. It's about the money, the yachts. It's just shit. And then there's poverty next to that, and people who suffer who can't pay their bills. And so my whole thing is this wanting as a kid. I always wanted to be on stage, to be famous, to be recognized for something. And then I tried to go that way and it went wrong. And I couldn't express anywhere. I didn't have a voice. Because my voice was stuck due to trauma, due to inability to speak. It has got much better since I do these videos. But the point of this is I have to be careful how I use the music and the sound, and what I want to bring to the world is this healing. But why could I bring healing to others when I can't even heal myself? And there my ego starts saying, you can't do this, you shouldn't do this, just, I don't know, do your cleaning channel, which I really do enjoy. But it's where I want to speak a bit more about what's happened today. Is I have had thoughts about my business recently. You might or not know that I have a chocolate business that I have had and worked at for 10 years. And I have often blamed this business for my health because chocolate, I believe, is not really healthy as a product. Yet I do it. I do it as well as I can using organic products. Not all of it, but most of it is, because I believe it's better, then it makes it less harmful. But this business that has had its instant of fame, which I was really proud of, and it has taken me out of a very bad turn, as it was going down the pan before COVID. The COVID came and the markets shut down, so I had no outlets other than a couple of shops to sell my chocolate in. And then that person, the guest who stayed at the holiday cottage, sent my details to Annalisa Barbieri at the Observer magazine. She bought some chocolate, liked it, reviewed it, and this was what tripped the business into being successful. She did another 2 reviews, and then she hasn't done any since, so it's been a couple of years now she hasn't. And it doesn't matter the reason why she hasn't, but I have felt since then, because I have lost more nails on my hand, I feel I have lost yet more self-confidence in my physical value, and I feel to be someone as a successful business owner, one has to have nails. If one doesn't have nails, one looks like someone who lives under the bridge. And there's nothing wrong with any of us who live under the bridge, it's just how we feel about it. When we don't have the self-respect because we think that our body is dirty or impure, imperfect, it's really tough to change how we feel about ourselves. But it's not to cry that I'm on here, so it's to discuss what's happened today. So the business is at a point at the moment. I'm not looking at the comment. I don't particularly want to interact. Sorry at this time. The business at the moment is quiet. It has had a good Christmas, a good Easter. I've had lots of compliments. People love the chocolates. They love the packaging because I do my own drawings. But it has become more quiet, as it is. It usually is at this time of year. It just doesn't sell much in the summer. It's normal. It's a time of year where others would like to eat strawberries and fresh fruit, things that cleanse the body, not things that make us feel heavy and, get diabetes and stuff. So it is quieter, and I've done 3 markets last week in a row, which I don't normally do because I'm actually desperate to build some finance. Because another thing that happened is the chocolate globally the supply has reduced due to African countries. I think I've not properly read about it. I think they've got some toxicity on the trees, some disease or something, and the trees are not producing so much cocoa. So as a result, because it's huge amounts of cocoa that are lost this year, the prices have shot worldwide. And so the chocolate, I have just learned, after having gone up steadily, there's been an increase in January, which I've not done anything about. It's maybe 8% it's gone up. Then in March, in April, it went up again, so I had a little order to make sure I had some. That was maybe 13% it went up, and I did the calculations earlier. Anyway, it went from 129 to 155, which is not quite 20%. But I've just learned today that the dark chocolate price has gone up 60%. That's one bag that costed me 150 something, now costing 250 pounds. So knowing it was going up, I have spoken to people, borrowed some money, made a large order so I could pay the cheaper price, but I'm having difficulty putting my prices up. And because it is a bit of a time financially which is low at the moment, it's been challenging to think about how do I put my prices up. So I've spoken to someone that I trust about it, a customer of mine who's an excellent lady. She's a lady who contacted Annalisa Barbieri to tell her about my chocolate. And she said she would have a think about how she thinks maybe the pricing could be done. I trust her judgment. I have other people I can trust the judgment of, but I really felt like talking to someone who is a good customer of the business, and they love the chocolates. They want to see it going well. And she replied to my extremely long email when I told her my life and I probably told her too much, and I think I made a fool of myself as well, but I have to take responsibility for that. She said that she would have a look at, she knows a local chocolatier in France who does her own organic bean to bar products, and see how she's doing and how she's doing with the pricing. So that's why I'm today with it. But I also sent that letter to someone I trust and I follow the teaching of, my homeopath, and he rang me later on today, and it is where I've been feeling funny today at times, but speaking to him now, I feel particularly conflicted because I told him about my cleaning channel, just because we have to be honest with our homeopath. He's not our best friend, far from it, but he's someone we can rely on, and we need to say most of what is happening in our lives so that they can study our case and find the best remedy and see how the remedy they've given us is working. I've just had a new remedy 3 weeks ago. So he spoke to me, he rang me, and he explained to me that I collect chocolate in my life because I need something in it. And he said, because we have learned this, that according to homeopathy and of the teachings, in our lives we collect what we are lacking. So I don't know what you collect, but look at what you're collecting, and it is something you are missing in your life. In my case, I collect Barbara Cartland romances, which I really love. And I suppose I collect chocolate because I've had so much of it for so long, and it is an essence I need in it. I don't know why. Because to me it's become a poison, and I'm thinking it has got some heavy metal in it, not as much as some of the others that contain heavy metal, which is good, but it's still, I'm working with it all the time. I consume too much of it, and I started consuming too much of it because of self-sabotage and having suicidal thoughts. That was several years ago when things went a bit more wrong physically. But to me the chocolate is not something I want to carry on, because when at times like this, when I feel the business is not earning very much and I feel unpopular because of my physical body, because of the state of the place, I need to do a huge cleaning, and I just don't have the energy. I don't want to do it. But is it I don't have the energy, or I don't want to do it, or is it both? Oh, okay, we come to the point, which is the real reason of this. Well, one of the reasons is the place I live in is rented, and I keep thinking about this, and I can't not think about it. It's one of my homeopathy symptoms is when my landlords pass away, I have to move out, and I have so much stuff. I know things can be gotten rid of, so that's not a problem. But at that point, I do not want, I can't think of what I do with the chocolate company, because at the moment I'm renting my location here, my house. Well, it's not my house, it's the part of the house, and I've got my chocolate kitchen in one of the barns, which they are very kind. They have built it for me, which is wonderful, and I'm so grateful. I just worry quite a bit because I don't know how to move from this, because this is like a dream come true. There are animals, there's chickens, there's fields, there's gardens, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful location. And I just dread to think when I have to move out of here, I'll have to go to some, like some bed seat somewhere in Hereford, and try to think, what do I do with the business? Do I put it in a, I can't afford to rent anything for it because I don't earn enough from it to pay rent as such. So it's quite, it's just going round in my head for years, and I think I just want to give up, because when I have to move out, I don't want to take it with me, but then I don't have any other means of earning money other than working in Tesco's, and I know some of us unfortunately have no other skills than to have small jobs like this. Um, but I know that if I go to work in Tesco's, I might end up punching someone, like a manager or something. Um, if I have the courage. If not, I'll probably just walk out. I think I'll probably just walk out actually. Punching people is not something I've ever done yet. It's just the prospect of going back to a life where I have nothing, like when I was in London. Uh, when I moved to Cardiff and I had nothing there. And I couldn't find work because I was a waitress, or I worked in factories for a while. It was factories. It's just I couldn't stand it, but it had to be done because there was nothing else. It's just so soulless. It's just the way people are treated. It's just fucking awful. It wouldn't be that bad if we were well treated, but it isn't the case in many large organizations. They don't treat people well. It's just humans. So it's Cardiff started, and that's where I went. Probably, as my homeopath would say, probably I went the wrong way. I went into the sex industry side, the lap dancing and stuff. Because again, I wanted to be found out, I wanted that fame, I wanted to be said, oh, you'd be a great actress, come and play in this film. But of course, all that was offered was not the sort of thing I really wanted. But I took it because I wasn't tall enough to do fashion modeling. Not pretty enough, I know, but it's just a stupid idea I had. I wanted to do modeling, absolutely. I wanted to be shown I had value, my body had value, because I felt my mind had no value, I had no personality, or at least it wasn't appreciated. So I just wanted to go into that. So it went, the thing is, it went the wrong way, but only in the sense that parts of me got more confident. I realized my body was attractive and it had value, but other parts of me thought that, of course, it was something dishonorable to do that sort of thing. And then I went into all the types of that business, which I do not regret because they taught me an important lesson in life. Where I am today, with my lack of nails, I'm realizing that a physical body is not our value. And when we sell ourselves for sex or for a physical attribute, it's such an illusion. It's wrong, because at least some of it is wrong. It's when we do things we do not want to be doing. It's really wrong. But so I don't want to go back to a place where that's where I started saying, when my landlords die and I have nowhere to go with this business, with my piano. I don't want to sell my piano. I don't play much, but I love it. I've got a huge sewing machine. I've got tons of furniture. I don't want to part with any of it. I might have to leave everything. and go to a foreign country and go and live in a tree somewhere and do meditating and sing. And I don't know what I am, what am I supposed to do. And as far as this channel is concerned, I do apologize for saying to others that it's not for you. It's as much for you as for me, really, but I've just got to be careful of my egos, that's all, of a dormant arrogance that could be in me, that maybe I would become an awful person. So to go back to my homeopath, because it's what really triggered this video. He did say, okay, he said that a cleaning channel is probably not the right path for me to go, because it is similar to what I've done in the past, even though it's not showing anything that I don't want to show. It's perfectly all right as far as I'm concerned. But it has a certain flavor of the past, yes. Only because, I guess, people are doing what they are doing while watching it. But why not? You know, why not provide something which is less harmful than, say, those channels which are getting stronger and stronger in content. I can't comment because I don't watch them. I'm talking about channels that mainly men use to get pleasure because they feel lonely, or they don't feel, I don't know why they do it, because they need titillation. So to provide something that's not harmful, that doesn't degrade people, if they want to do that, let them do it. Doesn't excite me in that way, but we need this. It's fulfilling a need that's taking it away from more abusive kind of places, and if it makes them happy, it's good. But what else he said was mostly, the biggest thing he said was, why don't you try to love your business? Your business brings pleasure to people, the chocolate. Your business brings happiness, it brings joy. They do love it, they love the drawings. It's true, they love it. Well, some of them love it. And he said, that business, you need it. Because whatever you don't want to do, you should do it. And that really confused me. Because I said to him, what I really wanted to do, there's several things I really wanted to do. One was to be on stage, whether that's from ego and coming from trauma, from someone who's not being, or feels that didn't get regarded as a kid, I don't know. But there's that, but there's also the wanting to do music. And I'm not bragging, but according to my mother, right, she could have been misled, but my music teacher too, he said I was talented. When I was learning piano, he was impressed at the little songs I was producing as a kid. So I have some inclination towards music, towards creating, but I've never properly been able to use it for financial gains. But it doesn't need to be for financial gains. All I wanted to do was to be confident in it. So it could influence people, others, and myself into connecting into another place. Because music can transcend. And as I grew older, and as I ate more and more of the substances that change the mind, and are connected in different ways to different beings and different energies, I found that the music came so much easier. It's like it flowed better. But there was still this repression, this ego that cannot let go of the criticisms that I have grown up with. in my head, the voice that tells me, you don't sing well, stop singing. You're damaging your voice. You don't do it like this, you do it like this. And it carried on into adult life. My ex was a musician, said that to me. You sing with your ego. I don't want to sing with you again. And you know, that hurt. It hurts the ego, I guess, because the ego needs to be offended and hurt, as it's in its benefit to be offended and hurt at this time. Look, I can't look at the messages because otherwise I'm already losing my trail enough as it is. What is it? So what I wanted as a kid was to be on stage. I wanted to do acting because I wanted to find out about the different personalities that we can be, because we are not who we think. We choose who we are. We think we are a certain way, but it's a construct that we've made for ourselves. So I wanted to explore personality, and I wanted to explore also psychology, because I'm so interested in human behavior, including my own, which is also the reason for this channel, is that so I can observe myself and observe how I speak, how I come across. I thank you for your comments. I don't know if I will be able to read them later, actually. I better read them now, just in case I don't show on the chat again afterwards. Our brains can be very destructive to ourselves, making us question past decisions and causing anxiety and depression. Thank you. Thank you, Anda, as well. I see what you're thinking. That's brilliant. Thank you so much for that question. That's very funny. Singing with ego is okay. He described it as when he did music and he sang, he totally got absorbed in it, and I can't believe that because I saw him live with his band. He played music which is very strange. It's not jazz, it's, I don't know what it is. It's atmospheric, and it's like random notes, voice that sort of says words, sometimes it doesn't. And when I came to one of his concerts, it's like the whole room was on drugs. It's like, but not because bloody hell, that's weird, you know, and people laughing. No, they're just like absorbed. It's like it transcends. And when I played with him, we played in the church. I've got some of that music recorded, and it's on my chocolate website as underneath. It's on SoundCloud at the bottom of the pages. And he said I was singing with my ego, meaning what did he mean? I probably wasn't relaxed enough, but so I was doing my best because I felt very much connected at that time. So singing with the ego is when we are trying to be what we are not. So we try to appear better than we are, or we try to appear a certain way because we want to. So it's a sort of focusing of the mind, I guess, of the conscious mind, instead of letting that conscious mind melt and be connected directly with the source and the whatever brings the music into the world, and other things that we can. I think it's a downloading really of music. Either that or it's listening to the cells, because haven't they found that some musics actually are the sound of the cells doing things in our bodies. I think they found with Mozart that some symphony, whatever, was exactly the sound of, I don't know, some cells in the heart or something. So the scientists are finding a link with the music and the activity in the cell. I don't know quite. But so the singing with the ego was, he was saying basically, you're singing like shit and I don't want to sing with you, play with you again. So you can, that was what he was saying. And then when I tried to leave him, he said, oh, don't go, I love you. Yeah, right. Well, okay, well, we'll see. We'll see anyway. I'm not there to moan about my exes. So I thank you. Yeah, I'm ambient music. Yeah. No, it wasn't Jean-Michel Jarre. It was no. That's quite structured. Jean-Michel Jarre. It's really good, but yeah, it's experimental. Yeah, yeah. Hello everyone. Thank you for watching. I don't know why you're watching this, but thank you anyway. It's kind. So to go back to the homeopath, him saying that I shouldn't do the cleaning channel, perhaps, and that I should love my chocolate business. It made me think that I'm not being grateful to the business really. And I go through these stages, perhaps most years I do, when it's quiet, I think the chocolate is never going to sell again. And now because it's gone up so much, and I'm going to have to put my prices up, maybe it will never sell again. Because what if, I don't know, I have no idea how much my customers have of disposable income. Some of them I know are quite rich, not many, but I've seen the cards that are from some banks that are for like elite people who have huge amounts of properties or money. But others, they do seem to struggle and they sort of count the pennies. So this rising up of my prices is going to be, it's troublesome really. So him saying that, he said so many things that made me feel I'm being ungrateful, and it's that I feel like it's probably good, but I feel like I'm being told off in some way. And I said to him, I love doing the videos because I love showing. It's not okay. I said showing off. It's a showing off, but it's also the entertainment. It's doing silly things. It's mocking, and mocking as in satire in some ways, like, and it's also expressing behaviors, trying to work out how I feel when certain people feel something. Like I've had some conversations with the puppets, pretending I was meeting my aunt in France. I think I've posted that live, and that really helped me to even. It helped me to understand how to speak to her when she would come to me and start criticizing my toes and my lack of nails and my skin eruptions and everything else. And I love it, and I want to carry on doing that. But I'm starting to think maybe I shouldn't be doing it. Maybe I should withdraw everything and not talk out anymore. Maybe I should be within and be a normal person who doesn't talk to herself on videos and stop people sleeping on YouTube when they should be perhaps doing other things more important. And am I taking others' time and not really bringing anything that's useful or necessary to the world? Maybe am I really selfish? And so all these questions go around, and then I think about the business, and then my landlord could die any day. My landlady, she's got a cough. She's had it since she got the flu before they announced the COVID thing. And then they had several vaccines. He's had 5, and she's had 4, I think. So I'm just there waiting, looking at the clock, thinking, shit, when is it going to be? What am I going to do? But actually, to talk about it on video has helped me, and I feel a bit more peaceful because maybe I'm not alone, and I should learn to trust as well that it is going to be okay. It has always been okay, even if at times I have thrown myself in places that it could have gone really wrong, but it didn't. So I was perhaps blessed or lucky, I don't know, maybe just protected. Yeah, it's been a blessing really, this life. I'll stop for a minute so I can read your comments. I don't know if I can read from the beginning. Oh yeah. Oh. Oh, that's a compliment. The first comment was which? Yeah, that's cool. Thank you. That's a compliment. Thanks for that. There's something in the language. I don't know. Maybe hello. Julian saying love to join you. Working now. Um, yes. MJ, thank you for your message. Do I speak French often? No, not often enough. I should speak a lot more. Sometimes do a bit of speaking in videos, but non, je parle pas assez français en fait. Il faudrait que j'en parle. Il faudrait faire des vidéos en français, mais j'ai toujours peur qu'on me dise, oh, t'as l'accent anglais, maintenant t'as pas l'air en française. Bon, tant pis. I stumbled upon your channel a long time ago. I don't remember how. I'm French, I figured out. You did live in France until some time in the 2000. Ça fait depuis 1996 que je suis en Angleterre. Donc j'avais 18 ans. So yes, I was in France. I grew up in France. But I never thought I'd stay here. It's been a bit of a sort of strange path. I'm not sure. It's a funny one. I don't know. I didn't know you were doing live stream, so I joined. Thank you. I hope it's not wasting your time. Thank you. I didn't figure it out by myself. I think you told me by replying to a comment of mine. I loved discovering the chocolate business. Have you seen the website? It's frenchchocolates.co.uk if you need to look at it. Also wondered who makes those beautiful drawings on the packaging of your chocolates. They're really nice. Thank you very much. It's very kind. Thanks. Yeah, it's. I do love drawings. That's another thing. I love drawing, and I don't spend enough time doing it. Ne t'inquiète pas pour des autres. I think we will all watch things we watch because we want to watch them, if that makes sense. Thank you. Thank you. But I do feel so selfish, but it's probably okay. It's just another feeling from the ego that's maybe trying to keep in check that I don't become arrogant, because I guess it's easy to be haughty, as our homeopath told us that Hahnemann, the great homeopath of all time, said that people who get offended are haughty, as in Haugghty, which is something I didn't know the meaning. It's someone who's a little bit arrogant because they think they're better than everybody else. And so I had to observe myself because I easily get offended. And I thought, maybe I do have a superiority-inferiority complex, so an imbalance in that. But it was mostly an inferiority. So it became a superiority. Maybe it started with superiority, and inferiority came to teach me to not be an arse. So maybe now I can learn from that balance and just be a balanced person, but it takes a bit of a while. Thank you very much for your words. It's very nice. And the thing about doing the healing, it's something I also always wanted to do in my life. But how do I know what I'm truly born with so many things distracting me? Like, which one do I do? What do I truly want? And see, I think if I carry on, like if I carried on with a chocolate company for another 10 years, could I get any better at it? Could I be more organized? And what would it take to make the kitchen a better kitchen? Like, the problem with the kitchen is it floods. As soon as there's a bit too much water, there must be some cement missing in between the stones because it's an old stone barn, and the water from the road comes in. It happened about 4 or 5 times this year. Normally it happens about once, twice a year in January when it gets very rainy. But this year, due to the enormous amounts of rain, it has come in more, and I've had issues with mold because my packaging is not plastic. And so that's another issue. I've talked to my friend about it and to my other friend. And I've said to that lady as well, I've got an issue because I don't want to use plastic. The packaging, which is cornstarch, it's called PLA, and it is pretty waterproof, but I don't know if it's my drawers that are a bit too tight, and they rub against the entrance and they eventually make micro cuts, which lets the humidity in. I don't know if it's that, or the ceiling seemed to be fine. So I did an experiment sealing water in a bag, and it sealed, and for 2 weeks there was no leak, and after 2 weeks there was a corner, not one that I had sealed, but another, the factory corner, that started sipping water. So it shows me that with a high humidity, the packaging is not suitable. So the problem with the mold started in my shop, which is very exposed to the elements more than the kitchen, because there's a big double door, it's wood, and it's not insulated, and there's quite large gaps above the door, which I can't really feel. The wall outside, is it brick or is it? There's wood. No, the wall is wood, so it's like cladded like that, like pieces of wood laid. So I can't really do anything with that without. No, I can't do anything because there's an upstairs. There's a stairs going up. There are no windows, and there's little like barn windows, these long things, and they are open onto the road. So stuff comes in. I've made a tent so the dust from upstairs doesn't come into my shop. But that dust is, and that air all comes downstairs. So there's no way I can have the shop area that's not humid. So I've stopped using the shop since all this bloody flooding and finding some issues with mold on the chocolate. I've had to put everything back in the kitchen. So it would take quite a lot of probably finance and work to do anything with that barn. It's huge, and there's next to the upstairs there's lots of like old things that are stored, and there's more windows as well going onto the courtyard. So there's air everywhere, there's humidity everywhere, and it's England, so there's just rain all the time. So it's very challenging to think of what to do. So I'm not using the shop, so it feels a bit shit because when people come to buy chocolate, and they do sometimes, I haven't got anything welcoming and pretty for them to look at. They've got to come into my kitchen. So my kitchen often, there's, because I've been doing a bit of work and not tidied up, there's a few bits lying here and there. So them I'm a bit ashamed of. It's not perfectly like it should be all tidy, and there should be nothing on the surfaces, and it's not the case. There's stuff because I've been packing for the market, packing a few prunes. I've left the bits of packaging on the top, and when I've come back from the market, I've been too knackered to go in there and make the kitchen really clean for anybody to come in. So there's a bit of an issue there with how I feel about the whole thing with the chocolate. I need to really, really spend more work at it. But then I've got a sick hen, Put, and she's in the kitchen, so she requires a lot of care. And I know I'm using it as an excuse, but it's like I keep giving time to other things or other people, other animals, and not using that time for things I need to do to be a professional person. And I don't spend that time either doing things I want to do for myself, like videos like this, which I am doing now, which is really nice. So there's a bit of a dynamic issue with the way I live my life, and I know because it's obvious. And I had a coach once. I've got to write steps, I've got to write a list and motivate myself to do certain things a certain way and focus. And I really struggle with focusing. So it's I should make an effort, but the more I say I should make an effort, the more I beat myself up and the less effort I make. So I've got to motivate myself. So my only way of motivating myself is to clap my hands and saying out loud how grateful I am every morning. But sometimes I don't dare clapping my hands in case my landlords hear me and it disturbs them. So it's it's challenging. Yeah, it is difficult with the humidity. Yes, humidity control cabinets, but probably not big enough. Pro photographers use them to store their lenses. Yeah, there is a way. I was thinking about making some sort of cupboard to store the chocolates that would be as airtight as possible, and I had talked to my friend who does work with wood or used to work with wood about it, but I seem to have abandoned thinking about that. Same reasons, because what if I need to move out tomorrow because they both die tomorrow? And then I can't take my cupboard with me and I'll have spent a week doing it. And it's a week where I can't do anything else. And then it's finance. It doesn't need to cost too much, but I'm refusing to use things like MDF because they exude toxic stuff. So I don't want MDF, which my landlord and I have had an argument about, because he wanted me to use MDF on some shelves, and I said, no, I'm not using that, it's toxic. And he said, don't be silly, don't be a child. Of course it's not toxic. He said, we don't sell it otherwise. I said, it's toxic. It emanates of vapors for 30 years or more. Of course not. Well, you're just being silly. And then I did stand up for myself that time, but I couldn't win the argument because he's always right. And so I don't want MDF. I don't want it in my life. I just worry too much because I've had family who had died of cancer, and I believe that toxicity in our environment is part of why our cells cannot cleanse. But then I'm learning with homeopathy, it's not so much to do with that. It's how it starts at the level of above the intellect, what they call the level of love, the will, the soul level. So something starts there and it cascades down into the physical body, which then the physical body either hasn't got the ability to get rid of such toxins as MDF, or it stores them because of trauma, because through trauma cells seem to hold on to toxins. And by releasing trauma, we also release the vital force which is stuck in the cells and the toxins. But how do you do it? So I've not managed to find out yet. But yes, thanks for that. Yeah, maybe I need to consider, because what I've got at the moment to store chocolates are those towers. They're from a company in England called Useful Box Company, and you see them everywhere. There's these drawers with colors. They've got the rainbow colors. And they're very good because they're tight. There is a bit of air, but I've thought about putting plastic on it to makes them more airtight. But then there's the issue that sometimes there is a mouse or two that makes its way in, particularly in the winter. So I do make sure there's things to get rid of them. But I keep thinking one mouse could nibble at the plastic and I wouldn't notice. And then the humidity would start going in again. So that's not brilliant. So, and putting like plastic around it, it wouldn't look great, but it's better. Then I thought, what about just putting panels of wood behind the drawers, because the humidity would come like where they shut, because it's not quite sealed. Wood and then plastic over it. I could do that perhaps. Maybe the front, I don't think lets so much humidity. It's more the side and the back. So yes, there is a possibility of thinking of getting some wood. And that wouldn't be too bad, I think, cost-wise. Yeah. Oh, thank you so much, Anda, with your help. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. I so appreciate. It would be nice to see what sort of art you make. What illustrations. Wow, how cool. Yes, that's nice. I'm really grateful to read this. Thank you so much. And yes, sometimes it's not all money. It's encouragement is so valuable. It warms the heart, and then as we get happier, we start thinking of solutions we couldn't think when we are a bit stuck in our train of thoughts, which also goes the same way always. Oh yes, the word should. Yes, 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 yes. Oh, I've learned that a long time ago. Yes. Have I said it a lot tonight? I've not even noticed. Yes, it is beneficial to not use the word should very much. Yes, I totally agree with that. Yes, it's funny. Yes, yes, there's a way we speak is very telling, and it also influences our subconscious, and sometimes not beneficially. It's like saying sorry a lot, which we don't do in France so much, but in England they do so much, particularly certain persons. And it's a word, I've read that in a book. I don't exactly remember how they voiced it, but they said to say the word sorry too much is damaging to our energy, because it's a negative word that tells us we are lower. Of course, there's a thing, we've got to recognize our mistakes. I'm not taking that away. But to say sorry, instead of saying, I accept I have made a mistake here, and I did not wish to hurt through this, but saying sorry is like, it is demeaning. And they did explain it just damages the energy field. I wish I could remember where I read it. It made so much sense. So we shouldn't say sorry, but we should say it in a different way. Acknowledge the mistake and say it with a sentence. It would be more useful. Oh, but no, it's nice. No, pick up. It's good. It's good because it is a channel to find out about the language I use, and it's good to catch and not do these things because they're not useful. So I appreciate very much. Thank you. And I wish the telephone would stay still, but it doesn't. Yeah, it is spontaneous. Yeah. I work with the IT guys, and when something is being fixed, it should work again. No, it will work again. It damages confidence in own work. Ah. Do they say that because they're not sure the fixing has been done accurately, though, that perhaps they haven't solved the whole problem? Is that why they use the word should in the case of IT? Maybe. Oh yeah, non-violent communication. Oh, did I tell you about it? Yes, that's something I wanted to study, but it's just the time again, isn't it? And reading the books. And I've got homeopathy books really to read at the moment. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's ouais, c'est bien. Yes, they're unsure. It would be better. It works, and if anything goes wrong with it, I'll fix it again, or I'll do my best to fix it, rather than saying it should work. Yeah, it's interesting. It's low language of low confidence again in ourselves. Yeah. Well, thank you so much. That talk has helped me a lot, and I appreciate you being there. Thank you very much. Merci, Anda. D'où est-ce que tu viens en France? Tu me l'avais peut-être dit, mais j'ai oublié. Et MJ, what is your name? Oh, I mean, do you have a name you want to be called by? I don't mean your pronouns. I mean, I mean like a name only because MJ. It could be something like. Well, it doesn't matter. You don't have to say the name because I may not remember. Dans les Landes d'Aquitaine. C'est devenu la Nouvelle-Aquitaine. Ils ont changé les régions. Ah, Martin. Martin, merci. Ah ouais. Ah, c'est bien. T'es loin de la mer? Tu vas la voir souvent? C'est tout à fait à côté, non? Il me semble, les Landes. C'était où? Un endroit qui finit en os, qui est dans les Landes, il me semble. Seignos, non? Seignos? Je sais plus. C'est à 1 heure à Bordeaux. Oui, c'est ça, Seignos, ouais. Ma tante, il travaillait là-bas, on y allait en vacances parfois. Avec la famille dans des caravanes. Ouais. Ah, c'est bien. Ah ouais, Bordeaux. Well, nice to meet you, Martin, as well. Oui, c'est joli, cette côte. C'est marrant parce qu'ici en Angleterre, j'ai pas vu de côte pareille. In England, there's no, I've not seen so far, like in the west of France, near the Atlantic, where you've got loads of pines and then huge dunes. And when you walk towards the sea, you smell all the pines on the floor, on the sand, and they sting the feet, and it's all horrible to walk on it. But it smells so beautiful, and it's sort of, it has a weird atmosphere. It's nice, it's magical, really. Oh, it's late in the Netherlands. Yes, it's 1 o'clock. I hope you're not working too early tomorrow. Yes, I would like some to see your illustrations. Je veux bien, ouais. Tu me les envoies sur le site, c'est l'email, c'est Alexandra à frenchchocolates.co.uk. Night owls. Yes, night owls. Yes. I wish you a good night. I've got to get up at 6 o'clock tomorrow, so there's 6 hours sleep now. I've got to get it done because I've got to get back into a rhythm of getting plenty early in the morning. So the days there's plenty to do. I've got time to look after the hen, and I'm not just procrastinating because it's 9 o'clock and I've just got out of bed. So it's good to get up early. Thank you. Yes, good night. Bonne sieste nocturne. Yes, that's a good one. Bonne nuit. Bonne nuit, Martine. Good night. Yes, nice to talk to you. Bye bye. I'm going as well, yes. Thank you, YouTube. Thank you for this magical moment.